Track 9. You will hear an interview with a young woman talking about her job in advertising.
Today, in our series on careers, we're talking to Tina Jakes, who works in advertising. Good morning, Tina.
Good morning.
So, Tina, how did you get started in your career in advertising?
By chance, really. I just graduated with a degree in psychology. As you can imagine, there aren't that many opportunities available in that field. And to be honest, I had a low opinion of the advertising industry at that time. You know, it's the business of lying to people to persuade them to buy things they don't need. But a friend of mine told me about a job available at the agency he was working at. I needed the money, so I applied and soon grew to love it.
What do you like most about your job?
We work with an interesting bunch of people, some of them very talented, so there's never a dull moment. And I appreciate the chance to be creative, but I suppose the main thing for me is just taking part in the process that makes a business become a success. You know, when a campaign goes well, you get a real sense of achievement that you've made a difference to your client.
Are there any downsides?
Some people think it's a bit intense. I often take my work home with me. It's expected, especially if there's a deadline coming up. But I really don't mind that. Occasionally, you'll get a difficult client who doesn't really know what they want from a campaign. You know, they have nothing to offer and expect you to do it all. That can be annoying sometimes. I appreciate working for someone who knows what they want.
Are computer skills important in your job?
Well, I use a computer quite a lot, but not as much as some others in my office. When I have to make a presentation, I usually pull a few images off the internet or go out and take some digital photos which I'll download and edit. But then I transfer everything onto paper for the final stages, and that's what I show to the client and bosses. I don't use the computer or projector for that. I'm a bit old-fashioned that way. Nobody seems to mind, as long as the ideas are good.
How do you come up with ideas for campaigns?
Everyone you talk to will give you a different answer to that question. I have colleagues that spend a lot of time on the internet, which is an amazing source of inspiration. Others like to get together and bounce ideas off each other until something comes up. I prefer to concentrate on my own, have a good look at exactly what the aims of the campaign are, and usually there's a clue there as to what direction you should take. I always come up with something eventually, and it's generally well received, I'm happy to say.
You're involved in employing new people for the company. What sort of things do you look for in a candidate?
We employ a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds at our agency. This summer, we took on graduates in English, history, business, and even physics. The industry is very people-focused, so while we do value things like IT skills, maths and English, we're really looking for team workers. They need to be able to work well in a social environment and to deal diplomatically with awkward clients occasionally.
And what do you do when you're not working on a campaign, Tina? How do you get away from it all?
Sometimes it's really hard to switch off, but the thing that works best for me is music. I play the saxophone in a 5-piece jazz band most weekends. We get paid very little, but we don't do it for the money. As well as helping me forget the office, I think it actually helps me to recharge and go back in on Monday with fresh ideas. To me, it's really valuable professionally.
Track 9. You will hear an interview.